In this week's Orange to Blue Belt class, we're going to keep working on the concept of sportsmanship. Super important way that we show respect in competitions and games and all sorts of friendly situations as well. We're also going to start working a little bit on Tazabaki, right? Which is a form we haven't done too much recently, but it is part of our curriculum that we're going to be spending some time on today. Finally, we're going to be refining our punches, the little details that help us go from being okay to being really good or even great at those strikes. Let's get started with some warm-ups to get our body ready, and then we'll jump into the curriculum after that. All right, everybody, before we get started in the main part of class, we're going to just start off with a simple warm-up, right, which is important for keeping our muscles and joints healthy, right? Show us do a little bit of a warm-up before we get too much into activity, right? So this is going to be a 4-part warm-up. Every one of the parts has about 30 seconds to it, right? So we're going to start off in our fighting stance, and all we're going to do is like a twist and cross-body block, twist, cross-body block, twist, cross-body block, twist, cross-body block. Some of our more advanced students may recognize this as kind of like a double block for a roundhouse kick in sparring, right? But if you're not as familiar with that, you just think doing a cross-body block, I'm doing a cross-body block. Very important that your feet are turning as you do this, turning your hip. Not so much your head, right? But your shoulders, your hips, your feet, right? We're getting that moving, right? You can pick up your pace if you're feeling a little bit more sprightly. I was doing it slow on purpose, right? We're gonna do the exact same thing on the other side. So we have the other leg in front. We're just twisting and blocking. Ready, set, and go. Twist and block, twist and block. Get that cross-body block, right? And again, right? Find the right speed for you. This may be the right speed for you, right? Maybe this is the right speed for you, right? The important thing during a warm-up is you're just giving your body some time to get ready for the movements in class to prevent injury. So just keep twisting, just keep turning, and keep breathing. That's super important. People who breathe live a whole heck of a lot longer. Good. And stop. Okay, so now we're going to switch things up. We're going to do some push-ups, right? We're going to make sure we get our full range of motion on push-ups. So we're doing 30 seconds worth. Ready, set, and go. Right, as I do my push-ups, right? There's lots of different ways that you may pick to do push-ups. Maybe you're doing it with your legs straight. Maybe you're doing it with your knees bent, right? Maybe you're clapping. Whatever's right for you, right? You just want to finish up that set for 30 seconds. Major goals are, it should be a little bit challenging at the end. The last couple should be hard, and you get that full range of motion, right? Get all the way up, all the way down, you're going to get a whole heck of a lot better at doing your push-ups. Good. All right, and we're done with push-ups. We're back up onto our feet, right? Coming up on our last little warm-up move, we're just going to be doing alternating leg front kicks. Ready, set, and go. Looks like this, kick one leg, then the other leg, right? Doesn't have to be particularly high, doesn't have to be particularly fast, right? The important thing is you're just kind of activating those muscles, right? I'm gonna turn a little sideways so you can see what it looks like from the side, right? You can see I'm not kicking at my highest, right? I'm just trying to let my body move and be ready for the class. We'll be starting any minute now. Good. Keep kicking, keep breathing, and time. We're done with warm-ups. Let's get into the main part of class. Today we're going to be working on some punches. Now, I'm going to be demonstrating a couple of these punches on one of these new bags that we're going to be able to use in in-person classes soon that will let us practice our techniques while still being socially distanced and all that great stuff. So I got a bunch of these things lined up along the wall, but I'll be just demonstrating some of the minor aspects of punching that we want to be able to do today, right? So first of all, when we throw most of our punches, we are trying to hit with these knuckles right over here. The big ones, right? So you have knuckles all around your fingers, right? You have the tiny knuckles, you have the middle knuckles, then you get your big knuckles. The ones where your fingers and your hand meet, those are the knuckles that we're really talking about hitting with. And in particular, you're trying to hit with the ones that are associated with these two fingers, your pointer finger and the middle finger. So these two knuckles right over here are the primary place that you're going to make contact when you throw a jab or a cross. So if I'm throwing my jab, boom, that, or throwing a cross, right? Whatever it is, I want to have that good impact point. Now, if you have a bag that you want to practice hitting with today, you can feel free to do that. I'll do some of these strikes to the bag like I mentioned. Or if you're just doing it to the air, that's perfectly fine too. We'll still have things for you to work on. With that being said, I want to start by talking about just our jab, which is kind of like our leading move, right? It initiates so many of our striking combinations. Let's do 5 just really quick, and then we'll get into some details, right? Get in your fighting stance. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Switch your legs. 5 on the other side. Ready? Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So the detail I want to focus in on today is how your elbow moves as you throw your punch, right? So when I throw a jab, I'm going to get pretty close so you can see this. My elbow goes up and it goes down. It does not go out, right, like that. Now, the reason I bring this up is it's very normal for people to do this. It's also not very good for people to do this, right? Normal and good are not the same thing. So if you watch when I jab the bag, you can see my elbow go straight up as I'm hitting. Straight up as I'm hitting. And then I'm hitting with those good knuckles, right? Boom, just like that. Now we can do this all sorts of ways. We can step on our jab, twist on our jab. But the point is, elbow comes up, right? So what I would like you to do is think about making sure your elbow comes up. We're going to do 5 more of these on each side. I'm going to demonstrate on the bag this time so you get a different point of view. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. And then we're going to switch your legs. We're going to do the exact same thing. 5 on the back. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Okay. So that's true in our jab, that our elbow goes up. It's also true when we throw our cross. We keep our elbow in. We don't flare our elbow out. Right? So the same idea, right? My elbow is going up as I throw the cross. Now, by the way, you'll notice my elbow twists, right? So I'm going to roll up my sleeve a little bit. Right now, the point of my elbow is pointing down. It turns over as I throw my punch, and it's pointing sideways now. But again, it doesn't go out. Right? So we're going to do a few crosses. I'll do a few towards you. We're going to do 10 of these. Right? Make sure you turn your hip, turn your shoulder. Ready? Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Switch your legs. Same thing the other side. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So now, we still have this idea of our elbow coming up when we throw our cross. What we're going to add in now is what do we do with our head? What do we do with our eyes? Now, if you've ever done any sport, right, you've heard some coach or parent say to you, look at the ball, or whatever it is, look at the puck. Whatever the thing is, you got to keep your eye on it, right? In particular if you're trying to catch it, right? Or if you're trying to hit it, okay? And the same thing is true when it comes to sparring or punching. You got to look where you're punching, okay? So what do I mean by that? When I throw my cross, I'll face you. You can see that I keep my eyes right at you. Or if I'm punching at the bag, I keep my eyes right on the bag. It's normal, but not good for people to say, well, Sensei, I turn my shoulders, so I have to turn my head because I don't have a neck. And my neck doesn't actually do anything. It's just like like glued on there or something weird, right? Hopefully that's not true. Hopefully you have a neck. And you can use that neck to turn your shoulders, but still keep your eyes forward. Okay, so when I punch this, you're going to see I keep my eyes on the target. Now, it's particularly important for this because it moves a little bit. And because it keeps moving, if I time my punch wrong, I kind of get a little bit messed up because it's wiggling about. All right, so we're going to throw some crosses. If you're hitting a thing in your house, great. If you're not hitting a thing in your house, just look at me and don't let yourself look away. I know you're like, Sensei, I can't look at you that much. It's disgusting. Try your best, all right? So we're going to do our cross. We're going to hit the target. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. We're going to switch your legs. Same thing. Now, I'm watching this thing the whole time. I got to watch this. It's going to rock back and hit me in the face. Right? Maybe you're watching me. Maybe you're watching your back. Let's do 10. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, picked up the pace a little bit there for fun at the end. So as we're doing that, what we're really looking for is that you can do both. That you can have good form on your punch and maintain that eye contact. It's not a one or the other kind of situation, right? Do you want vanilla or chocolate? In this case, you need both. Right? Do you want ice cream and a cone, or do you just want the ice cream in your hands? Who has ice cream just in their hand? I mean, that's weird. Frozen yogurt, I don't know what your thing is. Right? So the idea is you gotta twist, keep your eyes on, keep your elbow moving in the right direction. So now, speaking of doing both, we're gonna do the jab cross, right? When we do our jab cross, I'll do some of them towards you, I'll do some of them towards the bag. Keep your elbow going up, keep your eye forward, all those good things, right? Really important. Oh, I forgot to mention a little bit about why it's important that your elbow go up. Meant to. Let's go over it now. When we go to do that jab, one thing you're gonna notice is that if I'm going like this, my elbow is between you and my body. And if you were trying to hit me, it's gonna work to defend me, right? It's still like acting as armor, right? But as soon as it goes over here, it's easy to hit me, right? So you gotta keep that in for good defense, right? One of the big things we talk about when we talk about punching, and I said hit it with these knuckles and things like that, is we don't wanna hurt ourselves when we punch, right? The worst thing you could do is someone's trying to beat you up and you're like, you know what? I can do it better. And you start beating yourself up. Like, who would do that? It doesn't make any sense, right? So keep your body in a good place to make it so you can protect yourself. Elbow goes up, elbow goes up. All right, so let's go. We're gonna do 10 jab crosses. Do 10 towards you, I'll do 10 in the back. Here we go. 1, 2, keep your eyes on. 3, make your elbow go up. 4, 5, 6, 7, let's go a little faster. 8, 9, 10. All right, facing the bag for me. You're gonna switch your legs. Here we go, keep your eyes on your target. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I did a different one, but that's okay. Just for fun, the bag moves a little bit. All right, so everybody, great job on your jabs and crosses. Remember those details. Those little things are gonna really add up as you progress through your techniques and through your curriculum. For now, let's keep moving on to the next part of class. This week, we're gonna keep talking about sportsmanship, and we're gonna talk about a different aspect of sportsmanship, which is respect for the game, respect for the rules. Now, when you show respect for the rules of the game, you show respect to everyone who's playing and everyone who's watching, right? All the people who maybe are cheering for you, right? Or cheering for the other people as well. And if you ever played a game where someone kind of cheated, right? And you know they cheated, it gets you angry, doesn't it? Because it's not fair and it kind of ruins the game for everybody when you have someone who cheats, right? And I like to think of a story that I'm going to share with you about a student of ours, right? And this is a long time ago. It's like 15 years ago. The boy's name was Aaliyah, right? Or a couple of Aaliyahs in his family came here. But I'll never forget this story with Aaliyah. It's a true story. So we were doing a tournament in the school. In the tournament, you could win some trophies. You could win some medals. Or you might not win anything, depending on how you did. And we were playing a game called Balance Challenge. Now, Balance Challenge is basically stand on one foot in different positions and don't put it down. So maybe you're standing and you just have to have your foot off the floor, or maybe you have to hug your knee, or you have to grab your foot behind your back, or a Superman stance, whatever it is. And while we were playing, there were about like 8 or 10 kids playing, and there are a couple senseis watching. And when the sensei saw you put your foot down, we'd say something like, Billy, your foot down, please sit down, right? Or, you know, Sue, I saw you put your foot down, please sit down. And at the end of the game, there were only 2 people left, Aaliyah and another kid. I don't remember the other kid's name. well, not super important right now, but we'll get it a little bit later. So we'll call that kid Fred for now, right? So Aaliyah and Fred are playing, and they're on Superman stance. And they're standing there on one foot, they got their arms out, and they look like Superman flying through the air, and they're fighting to try and win. They're trying really hard, they're trying to play by the rules, they're trying to win. And as they're going there, they're bouncing around, all of a sudden, I see Fred fall down on the floor. And I say, okay, good try, Fred. Aaliyah, you win. And immediately, Aaliyah says, Sensei, I have to tell you something. When I was hopping, I put my foot down on the floor. Fred should win. And I was like, what? I didn't see that. Are you sure? I said, yes, Sensei, I put my foot on the floor. I said, all right, Aaliyah, I thank you for being honest, right? And we gave Fred the big trophy. Now, the thing about that was, Aaliyah respected the rules of the game. He would rather win the right way or lose the right way than win the wrong way. And all these years later, I still remember Aaliyah doing that, and I'm still impressed and proud of him for doing that. And I honestly don't remember who came in first place, but I do remember who showed that awesome display of sportsmanship and character. So I hope that you can think of maybe some things that you'd like to see from yourself, that you could be remembered for in terms of showing good sportsmanship and good character. Something that'll make you proud, that will last for years, even if you don't win. Because, man, you can always show sportsmanship. You can't always win. Right? So keep that in mind, and let's get moving on to the next part of class. We get some push-ups to do today. We're going to be doing the push-ups we're recommending for our brown belts preparing for black belt. So we're going to be doing some dyno push-ups, some close elbow push-ups, and some balance push-ups, the ones that we haven't done in a few months. Let's do a quick review of how to do the push-ups, and then we'll get started. First push-up, again, for all these push-ups, I tend to recommend you guys practice them on your knees until you can do this high quantity of push-ups while maintaining your quality of push-up. So diamond push-up first. We have our hands in a diamond shape. We bring our heart down to our hands, and we come up. When we do this, one of the things that you're looking for is that your elbows stay pretty close to your body. It's much easier to balance than if you have your elbows go wide. You'll feel like it's much harder to do. So that's our first push-up, is our diamond push-up. Next up, we have close elbow push-ups. Close elbow push-ups, you set up your hands exactly like a regular push-up. They're at shoulder width, but normally when people do a push-up, they tend to have their elbows go out, so they come down and up. For a close elbow push-up, you keep your elbows touching your ribs, and then you come up. Right? So I'll show you one time from the front. You go all the way down, all the way up. Okay? So that's our next push-up. Final push-up is a balance push-up. When we do a balance push-up, it's a little bit tricky to do on your knees. It's actually in some ways simpler to do with your legs straight, but certainly not physically easier. When you go into your push-up position, you can do a regular push-up, however you do it. Close elbows, wide elbows, doesn't really matter too much. I recommend wide elbows. When you come up, you pick up one hand, and you balance, and you come back down. Now, one of the tricks to this is when you come up, you keep alternating hands, by the way. You basically want to be on one knee. Or if you're doing it with the leg straight, you do it on one foot. So I'll show you quickly from the side, right? I do my push-up, down, up, turn. So this knee is off the floor, that one's not, right? So those are our balanced push-ups. Those are 3 types of push-ups. Let's get into our push-ups next. All right, 12 of each. Let's hit it. Good. Now, feel free to go faster than me, slower than me, take more breaks than me, fewer breaks than me, whatever it is. The important thing is to get that full range of motion. That's the thing we always stress on these push-up challenges, all the way up, all the way down. Right? You can stop in the middle of a set, end of a set, whatever it is. Let's go. Good. Again, shake it out if you want to, right? Taking short, reasonable breaks is perfectly fine. Don't pause it and go in the other room and, you know, have dinner or, I don't know, whatever. Those kind of breaks, those aren't particularly productive. But short ones in the middle, that's okay if that's what you need to do to get that full range of motion. All right, 12 balance. Let's do it. These are a little bit slower than those other push-ups because you got that extra movement to it. And if you're already done, you can stop and catch your breath. And if you're falling behind, you'll have time to pause this. I think that's 8. All right. 12 each. Good job. Hey there. We're doing forms, and we're going to need a thing. Now, for me, I have one of these. This is one of our versus bags that we're going to be using to keep people kind of distant in class and still be able to hit each other. I mean, hit things, not hit each other. But for now, you're going to need a thing too. It doesn't need to be this big. As a matter of fact, you could use anything. You could use a sock, right? Whatever it is, you want to be able to see it, and you only want to have one in the room. All right, so take a second, get your thing. I'm going to put this in position, and then we're going to practice some forms. We're going to get started working on Tazabaki today. Now, when you practice Tazabaki, it's important to understand this form. You do it one direction, you do it the other direction. And you kind of do the same thing on both sides. Now, we're going to be doing 4 of the steps, depending on how you count. It could be 9 steps, where we're going to turn one way and block, turn the other way and block, turn one way and block, turn the other way and block. And if you have your thing on that side of you, which should be your right side, then you're going to be all set up to do the form properly. Okay, so have a thing over there, and it'll just be a point of reference where I'll say, hey, turn towards your thing. In my case, it's the versus bag. In your case, it could be backpack. I don't know. Okay, and then we can turn the other way. All right, now, what we're going to do first is we're going to just review the stances that we do in this form. There's 3. The first one is a ready stance. You're going to do that. You're always going to come back to a ready stance. You want your feet apart, but underneath of your hips. About this far apart, not together like an attention stance, and not wide apart like a horse stance. Just normal. Your legs are kind of normal, right? They're not super straight, like how you would normally stand. Normal, okay? You have your hands in front of you in fists. You can see from the side, they're a little bit in front of my belly button, basically. And they're a little bit apart, okay? So that's the first stance that you're gonna have to do, a ready stance. It's pretty simple. I hope you know how to do it. The second one we're gonna do is a front stance. If you're not sure how to do a front stance, you take one foot, take your left foot, you take a step with it, forward, and you take another step. And then you kind of end up in a front stance. When you're here, you have your front knee bent, your back leg straight. I'm gonna show it to you from the side, right? I have my feet even. Doesn't matter which foot I'm doing. I take one foot, I step. Take the same foot, I take a second step. My back leg is straight, my front leg is bent. Standing up tall, okay? Don't lean forward, stand tall. So that's our front stance. Third stance, horse stance. How do you do a horse stance? Go to maybe a ready stance, and you take one of your feet, doesn't really matter, step it farther apart. Bend your knees. Pretty good. Feet should point straight, back should be straight. I'll show it to you from the side. This is a horse stance. By the way, we're not talking about what our hands are doing in this one, because it's going to be, in the form it's going to be doing things. But for here, we're just in a horse stance. Now, if you're having a hard time with doing those stances, you can always ask for help in a private session, right? Or however you're seeing your sensei in class in the next couple weeks, semi-private, whatever it is. In the meantime, let's get started on the form. I'm going to show it to you once. You might want to just watch it. right? So I'm going to start here, and by the way, we're only doing the first 4 steps. The first thing I'm going to do is a break, which I'm not really counting as a step. 1, break, 2, break, 3, break, 4, break. All right, so that's what we're doing, okay? Now I'm kind of mirroring, so you should definitely be going to your right. I'm going to my left first, but so it looks the same. What we're going to do is we're going to do each step 2 times. All right, so we're going to do 1, 2 times. Then we're going to do 2, 2 times, and then we're going to do 1 and then 2. Okay? So we're going to start with a break. Now, you're going to be turning towards your thing and blocking with the hand that's closest to the thing. All right? So whatever your thing is. TV, couch, pillow, whatever. Versus back. Ready? 1. Turn towards the thing. Block towards the thing. And it's a high block. All right, come on, back. We're going to do that one more time. Same thing. Use the correct hand, correct foot. Ready? Go. Good. And break. So now we're going to turn away from the thing. We're going to use the other hand, the one that's farther from the thing, right? And the foot that's farther from the thing. All right, so I step back. I high block. And that's 2. Come on, back, break. All right, so we're going to do 2 again. Which hand am I using? One that's farthest from the thing. I'm facing away from the thing. All right, and come on back. All right, so we're going to do 1 and then 2, and then we're going to do 1 and then 2. Here we go. 1 towards the thing. Block with the hand that's closest to the thing, and I face towards the thing. And come on back. I know what thing you're using. Now we're going the other way. Away from the thing, using the hand that's farther away from the thing. Ready? And 2. And come on back. All right, so we're going to do 1, then 2. Hand that's closest to the thing, blocks towards the thing. And come on back. Far hand faces away from the thing. Good, and come on back. Okay, so far so good. Those are the first 2 steps, and you're going to see this pattern kind of repeats. You do it one way, do it the other way, right? Now we're going to do just 3 a couple of times. This one's a little bit tricky. You're going to step back into a horse stance, and you're going to block with the hand that's farther away. So the hand that's far from the thing is going to palm heel towards the thing, right? We're not counting that as one of the 2 you're supposed to do. All right, so which hand are you going to use? Snap it a couple times, right? Use that hand to palm heel towards the thing. Face the thing, palm heel at the thing. All right, come on back. We're going to do that again. Snap your hand a couple times so you know which one you're using. All right? If you don't know how to snap, that's okay. Weird claps, waves, doesn't matter. Ready? And go. Good, and come on back. Okay, now we're going to do 4, away from the thing. Which hand are you going to use? Think about it, think about it, think about it. Hopefully you know. It's this one, right? The one that's closest to the thing is going to palm heel away from the thing. That's the difference between, or one of the differences, between 1 and 2 versus 3 and 4. So we're doing 4, go 4, face away from it, palm heel away from it, and come on back. We're going to do it again. All right, think about which hand it is, flap it, snap it, clap it, whatever it is that you're doing with it, just to kind of make sure you know which hand you're using. You're going to face away from your thing, and come on back. Okay, so we've done the first 4 steps. Let's do 3 and 4, and then 3 and 4. So we're going to do 1, then the other. Think about which hand you're going to use. Ready, go 3, and back. And now 4, face away from the thing, and back. We're going to do that one more time. Ready? Which hand are you using? Think. Go 3, and back. Think about which hand you're using. One that's closest to the thing. And face away from the thing. And back. All right, we're almost there. Now we've just got to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then repeat. Now we got to think for a second. Okay, on 1, face towards the thing. Which hand do I use? The hand that's close to the thing. Right? Because on 1 and 2, face the thing, use the hand close. Face away from the thing, use the hand that's far away. All right? Hope you can remember. Ready? So shake the hand you're going to use, or flap it, or snap it, or whatever you're going to do with it. Ready? And 1. And come back. All right, now we're going to do the other side. Think about which hand you're using. Ready? 2, face away from the thing. And come back. 3, we're going to face towards the thing. Which hand are we going to use? The one that's farther away. Does a palm heel. Go palm heel. Boom. And come back. All right, we're going the other way. Think about which one you're using. Okay, I'm using this hand. I'm going to flap it so I know. And go 4. And come on back. All right, not bad, not bad. Hopefully you got the correct hand every single time. Let's do that one more go, a little bit faster. Right, I'm just going to quickly show you which hand to use. Right. By the way, that's not part of the form. Some people, I know that you're going to be in class this week, but say, how come we're not flapping our hand before we block? It's not part of the form. It's just there to help you learn. Right, just like you don't need a versus bag to practice the form. Ready? We're doing 1. Think about which hand, which foot. Go 1. And come back. Think about which hand. Face away from the bag. 2. Come back. Think about which hand. No. Did I trick you? We'll find out. Ready? Show me 3. And come back. And now we're going to face this way. Using this hand. Ready? 4. And come back. Okay. So a great idea right now is to take a minute and try and do this without me. Literally take a minute. You can pause the video and see if you can remember which hand to do, which way to face, right? If you can only do it when you're following along with me in a video, you probably don't really know it, right? That's like saying, I'm really good at math as long as I can read the answers off the board, or I can spell any word that I can see written in front of me. It's not much of a spelling test, man, if you're reading it, right? Or woman, or whatever it is, okay? You've got to make sure you can do it without having to watch, right? So feel free to pause this for a minute and see if you can do the 4 steps in order using the correct hand. But for now, let's get moving on to the next part of class. All right, folks, for our final game today, we're going to be doing one of our weekly challenge videos, right? This one needs a partner, so you might want to grab someone in your family, right? But let's have some fun with it. Here we go.
What's up, everyone? Sensei Mark here. Today, we're going to teach you how to do the Defend the Noodle game. So, as you can see, I have my sister back with us again, Marissa. She'll be helping us out for this because you do need a partner, and for this game you just need a nice big foam noodle. Make sure it's a nice thick foam noodle because if you get hit with it, you don't want to get hurt because, yep, see, that doesn't bother me. Perfectly fine with that, right? So for this game, what we're really doing is we're working on some of our evasive moves, our dodging, and even a bit of our blocking towards the end, and I'll show you how that works. For this game, there's actually 3 different levels, and it depends on your belt. So for a lot of my white belts, yellow belts, you guys have probably played this game before. We're just going to work on level 1, which is the jump and the duck. So when I do each of these moves, when I do my jump, I make sure I bring my knees up super high so that if she does swing at my feet, I can go right over it and land down safely. And then when I do my duck, I'm going to make sure that I bend at my knees while keeping my head up, right? Just like this. Boom. Now, if I end up ducking and I'm looking down, I'm not going to be able to see what she's doing, right? And of course, I might get hit in the back of the head. So you want to make sure you're keeping your eyes forward. It just creates good habits. So let's give level 1 a try. Okay, so for this, she's going to swing either at my head or my feet, and I got to keep my eyes open and be ready to jump or duck. Whoa, okay, good. And notice I keep my eyes on her to make sure I see what she's doing each time. Good end time. Whew. Okay, so on to level 2. Now for this one, all we're doing is just adding 1 extra move, and that's going to be the side step. So what I do is I get in my fighting stance, and my sister is going to be swinging down on top of my head. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sidestep to the side just like this while maintaining a fighting stance. And I can go either way as long as I don't get hit. So here's what it looks like. She swings down, and I sidestep, and again, I can go either way. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add in the jump, the duck, and the dodge this time. So she can swing at my head, my feet, or down on top of my head. So let's see how I do. Oh, I got hit. Oof, oof. Good, and time. And there's level 2. So for the final level, this one's really exclusive for my high belts, purple and above, because you guys know these defenses. So now, instead of doing things like jump or duck or dodge, you can do other defenses like parrying, cover blocks, sidestepping, backstepping, right? Moving in a fighting stance, anything you want, because this time your partner is going to do whatever she can to try to hit you. Okay, and she's gonna grab towards the end and just poke at me, swing at me, whatever, and I have to do whatever I know. So it looks something like this. In my fighting stance, let's see what she does. Oh, I can block. Boom, I can dodge. Oh, I can parry. Sidestep, backstep. But I'm gonna be moving around. She got me, just like this. Woo, she got one. All right, and I just keep my eyes on her the whole time, and notice I'm staying in a fighting stance. Boom, I can block, parry. Boom. All right, well, stop. She's having too much fun. Good. All right, and that's the final level. Okay. Payback time. All right, I'll let her give it a try now. So I'm going to try the first 2 levels with Marissa. I'll start off with level 1. She can either jump or duck. And I want you guys to notice when I'm swinging at her, I'm going to make it really obvious, right? So I'll take the noodle, big giant swing, or big giant swing nice and low, right? No tricky, fancy behind the back stuff yet. That comes later. So again, let's see if she can do it. Swing high, good. All right, so far so good. All right, too easy. Let's go to level 2. So now level 2, I can add the downswing, and she can sidestep either direction. Here we go. Good. Nice. Oh, almost. So close. And there you have it, folks. That is the Defend the Noodle game. Really, all you need for this, just a nice big foam noodle and a partner who is willing to whack you with it. But let me know how far you guys made in those challenges, see what level you made it to. But until then, see you next time.